All right, we are live. Wild finish to that race. At various points, it looked like certain guys had the race under control. It looked like it was going to be the Kyle Larson and Ryan Blaney show, but then Kyle Larson decided he was going to smoke it in there, getting into the pits, trying to make up times, and he'll have a lulls for a long time. Be a meme for a long time on the internet for smoking the sand barrier there, trying to make up time. But that's what happens sometimes when you have an aggressive driver. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's pretty funny. Everybody should have a laugh at it, especially Kyle Larson fans, because he's already locked in to the championship. So no harm, no foul there. He was trying to get every advantage he could get there to hop over Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney had a good long run car and looked like he was going to be the odds-on favorite to win it after that. But then for some inexplicable reason, Denny Hamlin decided in that moment that Denny Hamlin, he didn't care who won that race, but it wasn't going to be the 12. He raced the ever-living piss out of that 12 car and would not let that 12 car get on about his business. That cost Ryan Blaney a good bit of track position. Then Denny Hamlin, then it just all, at least for half of Joe Gibbs Racing, it all sort of started falling apart right there. Denny Hamlin, some component on the steering broke according to Denny Hamlin, and he smoked the wall. And then while that caution was going on, Martin Truex Jr.'s engine expires, which leads me to the finishing order because their teammate Christopher Bell, through all this chaos and through perseverance, at one point in this race, he was trying to fight to stay on the lead lap. He ends up winning the race by just continuing to work and make that car better. He wins the race. Ryan Blaney charged at the end, but didn't have anything for him. He ends up finishing second. Tyler Reddick, another Toyota driver who needed a good run, has a good run. He is still going to be under the cut line with his third place finish, though, but he did what he needed to do today to lessen the deficit there. William Byron continues his strong season, finishes fourth there. He had an extremely good short run car, but after about 20 laps, he faded. AJ Allmendinger with the fifth place finish there. Good run for AJ Allmendinger. It looks like Colleague is putting it together here at the end of the season. Too little, too late, but good to see some positive momentum from that Colleague team. No matter what they do going forward, they do at least have finishes to show here. Grimace, the Hamburglar was third. Grimace finishes sixth. Bubba Wallace finishes sixth there. Ty Gibbs finishes seventh. So top 10 for the Joe Gibbs Racing cars that finish being the win and seventh place. But then, we're going to get down here to it. But Joe Logano finishes eighth. Eric Almirola ninth. Good finish for SHR there. Continues to be SHR has one good car, but they can't get all four of the cars to run good. Austin Dillon, a good top 10 here. Solid top 10 for him. Some positive news from this season for Austin Dillon. So good run for him. And then Kevin Harvick in his final Miami appearance finishes 11th. Now let's get to the drivers who didn't finish so well. At the bottom here, Harrison Burton, he was overheating. They didn't even, I don't think, even mention that. Josh Bilicki wrecked on pit road. That was the end of his day. Kyle Larson also wrecked on pit road. We've already mentioned that. He finishes 34th. John Hunter Nemechek was involved in one of those crashes. And then we get up here to 30th place. Ross Chastain was 31st, by the way, also in that John Hunter Nemechek wreck. But here we go, playoff drivers. Denny Hamlin, 30th place. He was involved in the accident with the steering wheel breaking. Then you had Martin Truex Jr. finishing 29th. And Brad Keselowski, 28th. Let's see here. Who's the next man? That looks like the only playoff drivers that might have necessarily taken a huge hit there. Chris Buescher already in winter go-home mode. He finishes 21st. So locked in. William Byron is basically locked in. He is at plus 30. Then you've got Ryan Blaney, the last man in to the Final Four championship race at Phoenix right now as it stands at plus 10. Then you've got Tyler Reddick at minus 10, minus 17 apiece for Martin Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin after their troubles today. And then Christopher Buescher, once again, in win or go home mode. He's minus 43 to the cut line. All right, let's see what you guys would like to talk about. Let's see. Clarkopus, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you on here. Larson went to the beach. said Clarkopus, yeah, for sure. He brought sand to the beach, unfortunately. Let's see. Brian Biggs giving a thumbs up and saying, "What's up, Canada? What's up, Brian? And what's up, Canada?" Man, I was off on Blaney today. I see what Vegas knows better than me. So say, Kyle, yeah. So basically, they were just going off practice speeds, and he had good long run speed. I knew if it was like a long run situation, he would have a good chance. And I think if Denny Hamlin hadn't wrecked and Martin Truex Jr. hadn't have blown up, I think Ryan Blaney would have pushed it a little bit harder there, trying to catch Christopher Bell. But I think his team came over the radio and said, hey, you're probably not going to catch him. Let's just take the second here. That's personally what I think happened, because he had closed it to 1.2. Then all of a sudden he was just like, whatever. And he just let it go and started driving a little bit more conservatively. I was a bit ticked off with Larson for banging up the 12, says Shaw. Yeah, that wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but it's just one of those things. He was trying to be aggressive getting on the pit road. At the end of the day, it didn't really hurt the 12 car. Like, the body damage didn't stick out or anything like that. The 12 car still had plenty of speed. Unfortunately, he just didn't have that short run speed. He had really good long run speed. He needed about 40 laps in track position, and unfortunately, Hamlin took that track position from him, racing him so hard, and he led at least. When those two were racing, there were at least two or three cars, at least two cars that got by him that I can remember off the top of my head. One of those being, of course, Christopher Bell. I was screaming at the Hamroid, said Shaw. Hamroid got karma'd for messing with the 12. Yeah, Denny Hamlin decided, I don't know if that was a point situation or if those two had got into it earlier in the race, because they were the two drivers right there at the cutoff line at that time. So I don't know if Hamlin was thinking about points there. He was like, I don't care who passes us as long as I finish in front of the 12. I don't know if that's what was going through his head or if he was just going for the win or what, but he was determined he was going to get past that 12 regardless of how many other cars got in front of him. So that was super interesting as far as that went. A lot of money lost by driver error on the 5 car, says Paul Moss. Yeah, the favorite. And it wasn't even like great odds. It was only like plus 250 if you bet on Kyle Larson. So it wasn't the greatest odds in the world to begin with. Let's see. I had the 5, the 11, and the 19 in my lineup with the 23 in my garage. Fortunately, basically everyone in my league had the 5, the 11, and the 19 as well. Says say Kyle. William Byron had the second best numbers there. So this would have been a good race. If you're behind in your league, this would have been a good race to start William Byron when everybody else starts Kyle Larson, just to do something different and shake it up there. What was Larson thinking about? Did he get a phone call? Says PC gone rogue. He was just like, first off, there's closing speeds. So even though it was only about 5 or 6 miles per hour difference in closing speed, I think Larson was coming in at 54. I think Blaney already got it down to 48 or something. So it wasn't that big of a closing speed, but I think Blaney got his 48 a lot sooner than Kyle Larson got his to 54. And then he hit Blaney, and then he didn't have anywhere to go, and he tried to juke it right. Well, he was already on the brakes when he juked it right. And well, once he turned it, the car is only going to go straight when you lock the brakes up. So it's just one of those things. Look, I'd rather have an aggressive driver making aggressive mistakes like that. You see aggressive drivers do that all the time. Denny Hamlin leads the series in pit road penalties. I'd rather have a guy being aggressive and making mistakes like that than a guy who is a little bit too timid or something like that. So I will live with mistakes like that from Kyle Larson. I will live with Denny Hamlin getting 4,000 pit road penalties. I will live with that as opposed to having a driver that is too scared to do something. So although it's funny and it will be memed for a long time, I'll take a driver that's over aggressive compared to a driver that's a little bit too conservative. Rudy on the radio was telling William Byron how the points are over Blaney in the cut on the warm down. Byron says it doesn't matter. We're winning Martinsville next week. Dude is confident for next week. Yeah, he's got to win. I sat there and watched the win from William Byron at Martinsville already in the old Raptor car. So hopefully the Raptor car looking a little bit better than it did that week. They have improved the Raptor car, in my opinion, over the course of its run. But yeah, William Byron, not a bad pick for Martinsville. He's a previous winner. Kyle Larson won the earlier race this year, so you have to put. I mean, it's pretty much always been a Hendrick track for the most part. So Hendrick, you always have to count them in over there. Joey Logano is really good at Martinsville, so I would assume if you can get any information from Joey Logano to make Ryan Blaney's car sort of react like Joey Logano's car has in the past, I would expect him to be good at Martinsville as well. So and actually I do have those numbers pulled up right now. I can look at those over the last, let's see here. Drivers averages. I was, wow, look at me, proud of me. Joey Logano with an average finish of 4.7. Ryan Blaney with an average finish of 5.7. Chase Elliott 7.7. There's another one. Chase Elliott's actually really good at Martinsville, but always tends to have bad luck there. But he had the fastest car I've ever seen in my life. It was a green Mountain Dew car, sort of a chrome or speckled green flake Mountain Dew car. That thing was a rocket ship. Something crazy happened early on in the race. It was a mechanical failure, but once they got it fixed, he was like 30 laps down, but still was the fastest car out there. So don't sleep on Chase Elliott there. Kyle Larson, like I said, previous winner. Skip Kurt Busch here. Martin Truex Jr. average finish of 10.4. Skip Matty D at 11.0. Then you got Alex Bowman at 11.7, also a previous winner. Willie B, 11.9. Ross Chastain, 13.2. And Ross Chastain will never be synonymous with that track. If you want to go to previous winners there since 2020, Martin Truex Jr. has 2 of them: Seabell, Willie B, Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, and Chase Elliott. So there you go. It's pretty much going to be the JGR Hendrick show according to the numbers. And if you want to go to laps led, here's a pretty insane number for you. You probably never would guess this. Who's the laps leader here? But it's Chase Elliott with 765 laps led at Martinsville. So Chase Elliott fans, if you're out there and you're wanting your guy hopefully to get one more win before the season, or get a win before the season is out, this is probably going to be a good opportunity for him. Of course, the second guy there would be one that a lot of people would guess. That's Denny Hamlin at 660. Then you've got 293 for Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr. at 290. Ryan Blaney at 232, and then William Byron. Their names were right there. That's why I did that. 221. And Kyle Larson 175, all of which I think was at the previous race this summer, or this spring, I should say, and 159 for Seabell, 135 for Ryan Preece, 134 for Chase Briscoe. Let's see. Where was I at here in the chat? Let's scroll up a little bit. BB, did you get a box of Snoop cereal? I did get a box of Snoop cereal. I was actually going to put that as the thumbnail here, but I didn't. I forgot to do it. So I had the Snoop Loops with the marshmallows, and yeah, it's good. The one with the dog on it says OJ and Toothpaste. Yeah, I got it. I tried it, and it was pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's if you like Fruit Loops or if you like Lucky Charms, you combine all of the good things about Lucky Charms and all of the good things about Fruit Loops. It's pretty good cereal. The box has already been destroyed. It took me about 3 days, and now the box is gone. Death taxes and Denny Hamlin leading the series in speeding penalties, says say Kyle. That's a fact. Denny Hamlin actions detrimental. I love it, says Mark Barnum. Don't make mistakes like that at Indy, says Ronald Russell. Yes, for sure. For sure. I agree with you 100% there, Ronald. He's 24, running a pod scheme car next week. Not sure how I feel about the livery, so I'm gonna have to check it out. I haven't seen that one yet. So, it can't. I mean, look, man, that first wrap. I know some people like that first Raptor scheme, but it looked like ass in person. So I'll have to see if the pod scheme could possibly be any worse than that, in my opinion. I know some people like it. I already said that. So let's see here. Dev Finch, what's up, everyone? What's up, Dev Finch? Hope you're doing good, my friend. Dev, if you want to raise up some thoughts and prayers for Dev. He's going through a few things right now, so that would be much appreciated. Just a weird week, my friend, says Roofer. Mark and Chrome, and say Kyle, says Roofer as well. And say Kyle saying what's up to Roofer. Looking at a constant scheme change, every changes with Byron every week. Driver identity is non-existent unless you're Larson, says Chrome Diesel. Yeah, like the only two that you can really put with Byron, when I think of him, I think of either the Liberty car or the DuPont car with the I said hockey pucks on the first screen, but I meant the hockey sticks. The DuPont hockey sticks scheme that he had, I like that one, but it looks like they're going back to flames for the DuPont car next year. You can see like they've peeled up the cover just a little bit for next year's car. I'm sure a full-on announcement will be made here pretty soon. Let's see. Denny Choklin says B. Hamroid will always beat Hamroid, says Shy. Chase was MIA today. I don't think they mentioned him once the entire race. So, yeah, as good as Hendrick was this race, Alex Bowman was good too, but he had some issue on pit road, which got him off kilter. But Chase Elliott wasn't as dominant as his Hendrick teammates were, or didn't even have that short run speed that his Hendrick teammates did. And even though Ty Gibbs got the top 10 finish there, you didn't really hear anything from Ty Gibbs as far as the Joe Gibbs Racing camp. So I was surprised by both of those guys being just a little bit off today, even though Ty Gibbs did end up getting the finish. Howdy from the Great White North. I swear the radio guys, Jinx Larson, they were gushing, etc., says Robin Marks. Yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. But look, like I said, I'd rather have a driver that does something crazy, being over-aggressive than a guy that's maybe just a little bit too timid. So I'll live with it. But it was pretty funny. Say Kyle, Shaw's laughing at Say Kyle, rolling on the floor laughing. Let's see here. I don't want any T Swift, but more of that Mr. Worldwide. Hi, yeah, Mr. Worldwide. That was a great little segment they did for NBC. Shout out to them. Getting Mr. Worldwide. Used to be Mr. 305. Now he's Mr. Worldwide. Let's see here. Pitbull. They should even got Dale to say Dale. They should have him hype up the crowd every race. Dude is all in on NASCAR. It was even funny when they threw it to Kyle Petty and Kyle Petty tried to match the same energy, and it was a pretty comical moment there. So I'll give him credit there on that one. Let's see what happened to Burton. He overheated. Harrison Burton overheated and pulled out. They might have said something about it during the race on TV, but I didn't see anything about it. So I did look it up though. He overheated pretty early on. But he was running in the 20s before that. So I think it started to happen way before that. Damn, that would have been awesome if you put Snoop cereal as your thumbnail. LOL, says OJ, and toothpaste. There's still time. I can still put it up there as a thumbnail after we sign off here. Hey, Roofer says Robert Marks, Harrison Burton, possible upset winner at Martinsville next week. So let's take a deep dive. Let's do the OJ and toothpaste deep dive on Earth 1 and 2. Let's see here. Is it telling that I automatically scrolled to the bottom looking for his statistics? He has an average finish of 22nd at Martinsville in 3 opportunities. He does have one top 20 with average starting position of 23. He has an 11th place finish. So there is that. He has a worse finish of 29th. So we're going to say his range here for the next race is going to be 11th to 29th at Martinsville. So there you go. Even though he is, according to statistics since 2020, the 30th best driver there, he does have an 11th place finish. So he can get around the place. He knows what he's doing. Will he have the car to do it? Will he stay out of trouble? Will the car not overheat? If there's drivers that have had bad luck this season, you have to put Harrison Burton and Austin Dillon in that mix. As well as even though he's won 3 races, I would have to say Kyle Busch. He's also had some bad luck this year. Ryan Blaney also has had some bad luck this year, just depending on how you want to call it. Let's see here. Larson is having a 2003 Newman season, 100% Chrome Diesel. I agree with you. You put a comment. I was fixing to say the exact same thing under Iceberg's comments, and then I saw yours, and I was like, man, you took the words right out of my mouth. Funny, this is 20 years apart. Yeah, without question. And Ryan Newman finished 6th that season. And I'm thinking Kyle Larson is probably pretty close to 5th or 6th in points right now. So it's pretty ironic that they're probably, according to old style Winston Cup points, of course, pretty funny that they're probably going to finish old school Winston Cup style points in the same spot. Of course, with the playoffs, Kyle Larson can still win the championship. I will defend William Byron to the bitter end. He's good, man. You don't have to defend him. His results will speak for themselves. But even I will admit that Vomit looks better than the first Raptor 24. Nation was happy. 24 Nation was happy when they went to the backup at Dover and had the white wrap on it. And luckily for Raptor, they saw the reaction to just a little bit of white put into that car with the black and the safety green, safety yellow, whatever you'd like to call the highlight that they put on that car. And it really woke the car up. Made it look a little bit better, and he had a good run with it too, so that never hurts. BB, who's more annoying right now, Taylor Swift or that viral annoying Chargers lady fan? That's a good question, OJ and Toothpaste. I'm just gonna go career numbers. Like the Chargers lady will come and go. Taylor Swift is gonna be on your news feed forever. She's sort of like the Kardashians. Whether you might have liked them or not, just the fact that you have to see them against your will so often. It's going to make you lean toward not liking them. So I'm gonna go Taylor Swift in that particular situation. I'm glad you're asking the real questions here. We stray from we fear no question here. We'll answer them all unless I don't. Let's see here. Burton couldn't daily says I like this. Like HB had a battery issue. I only know because the 24 was mad as hell because he hit out road in between the 12 and the 24. While a lap down under yellow, says Kyle. So there you go. It might have been a battery issue. I'll tell you what, it sounds like. Sounds like they might have knocked the belt off, and that might cause the overheating because he's officially listed as overheating according to NASCAR.com. But they're like the CIA. Can you really trust them? So officially overheating, but it sounds to me like they might have knocked the belt off, and that caused all those problems. So probably knocked the alternator belt off. Let's see here. The look on Burton's face was LOL. He was like, "What?" Says Shaw. Yeah, he was not about to say Dale. He was not about to say Dale. He was scared of that. The South Boston accents and Spanish did not commingle in that particular instance. Let's see here. OG and Toothpaste laughing my butt off. I think this is Dev, by the way. Dev Finch. Thanks, my dad passed away, and please for my family. I need prayers more for my grandpa. Having a real hard time about my dad. So yeah, if you guys want to lift up, Dev, it would be much appreciated. There's no words for a situation like that. So your thoughts and prayers are with everyone here, man. So hopefully you guys are able to get through that as good as you can in a situation like that. Good weekend. Wingdam 66 gave up another 220-pound plus catfish yesterday. Hey, so there you go. Mark Barnum getting his fishing on. Say Kyle, Bumblebee, all wishing you well. So is Paul Moss there, Dev. Let's see here, man. I feel for Truex, says Ryan Fuster. Yeah, it's been a rough playoff for Truex, no doubt about it. Dev, we are sorry to hear that. Says B. Dev Finch, thoughts and prayers for your family, my friend. Says Roofer. I'm conflicted. Robin Marks here. I'm conflicted. I like Truex. However, seeing a sad Joe Gibbs and a sad Denny was pretty funny. I'm so torn. What the heck? Truex blows up. Yeah, so just an interesting day for Joe Gibbs Racing. So it's always funny to me. The expression, you mentioned it right here, and that's what made me think about it. It's always funny to me to see Joe Gibbs. You can see a person win, but if one of Joe Gibbs' favorites at Joe Gibbs Racing doesn't do well, Joe Gibbs always has a sad face. So it's kind of, and he doesn't mean anything by it. I'm 100% sure about that. I know he loves Christopher Bell just as much as everybody else, but it's always funny to him that the sadness of an event overrides his emotions more than actually winning. So it's just an interesting dichotomy as far as that goes. Of course, when Ty Gibbs won and Brandon Jones got wrecked, it was the exact opposite. He was happy, and then there's been vice versa situations as well. BB Hamlin missed the Final Four. And I feel for Truex. I don't know. Hamlin is pretty good at Martinsville, so anything can happen there. Martinsville, like I said, the guys that are like currently on the cutoff line, not all the guys, but a lot of the guys on the cutoff line are really good at Martinsville. So I could see Truex winning it. He's on the cutoff line. I could see Denny Hamlin winning it. He's on the cutoff line. Ryan Blaney, the last man in, I could see him winning it. So I mean, there's any combination. Tyler Reddick. He's always had bad luck at Martinsville, so I don't know that his numbers are even accurate. So that would just be a wild card. But Denny Hamlin's not going to give him the setup if they're racing against each other. So Tyler Reddick might be the odd man out as far as that particular line of information goes. You'll probably see the 19 get it and the 11 get it, but I don't think the 45 will probably get the same information. Bubba Wallace is really good there too, though. So Tyler Reddick could lean on Bubba Wallace for a setup as far as that goes. It's one track that Bubba Wallace actually really excels at that not a lot of people think about. They think about him as being like a super speedway racer and a mile-and-a-half racer, but Martinsville is a place he actually gets around pretty good. I think his first win in trucks was there. Bumblebee saying, hey to Roofer, hi EB. Yeah, appreciate you, EB, dropping the merch link there. So there you go. If you would like to help out the channel, there is the merch link: stickers, hats, t-shirts, and right now that's it. But we're working on the hoodies. Let's see here. Imagine Taylor Swift and Jeff Burton have an affair, says Shaw. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I could deal with that. Taylor Swift is essentially toilet vomit for the ears, says B. So she is not a Tay-Tay fan. She's not a Swiftie. I think that's what they're called. EB48 nice, says Roofer. What was that by Larson? Dumbest NASCAR move in the 21st century, says Napa Racing fan. I don't know if it's the dumbest move, because you know what he was trying to do. I would have to, man, I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I'm still going to I might put it top 5, but I'm still going to put Juan Pablo Montoya running into the jet dryer. I don't care if it's steering broke or not. I'm just going to still have to put that one up there as number 1. BB, are you good at fishing? Says OJ and Toothpaste. I'm about as good at fishing as I am at golf. Give me a suitcase and I'm good, but I don't know how much productivity is going to be done either way with either one of those particular sports. But I do like doing both of them. EB, after the season, are you ready to convert over to a 24 fan? Not unless Sombrero Grande is going to change his first name to Kyle. So I don't pull against him. I like him, but I'm gonna stick with the Kyles and RCR and Legacy, or the 43 at Legacy at least. You think Truex is regretting coming back for next year after these playoffs? He was as far as the in-car camera, in-car audio, I should say. He says he was tired of that and he doesn't want to do it anymore. So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure he'll be fine tomorrow. Nicole Wembley, what caused Hamlin to wreck? According to Denny Hamlin, something broke in the steering. So he had some type of steering issue that broke. Let's see. As far as chase / playoffs goes, it's shaping up to be the biggest season collapse for Truex, says Chrome Diesel. Oh, the chase. I got you. The chase / playoffs goes shaping up to be the biggest collapse for Truex. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I would have to Brickyard also raising you up in prayer there, Dev. I would have to say a lot of people pointed at the year Harvick won all those races, and I didn't win it. Probably pretty close to that one. Let's see here. Say, Kyle, I do like Byron. Brad's my number 2 behind Alex, though, says B. It was worth a shot, says Say, Kyle. Look, I'm not going to pull against anybody, but like I said, I can't pull for everybody in the field. That would just make it boring. Let's see here. Seabell is actually clutch and is a good, clean racer. They had issues finding a driver long term in the 20s since I smoked, but Seabell will be there for a very long time. And look, not for nothing. This actually makes Toyota look like geniuses in a way, because you think about the process to get Christopher Bell there back in the day. They got rid of Eric Jones, and that was to this day, it's still a super controversial move because a lot of people that are Toyota fans still believe in Eric Jones, and they're super happy that he's going to be back with Toyota next season. And I think it was a good move from Toyota to align with Legacy to get Eric Jones back into the Toyota program, because they spent a lot of development money on Eric Jones to get him to where he is. But it was a big deal back in the day when Christopher Bell came over to that 20. And for the longest time, there were a lot of people that are like, if Christopher Bell don't start winning, he's on the hot seat. So I think Christopher Bell is the future for Toyota without question. I think he's the best young driver that they've got. I would put, now that they've got Eric Jones, I would put those two actually as the 2 best young drivers they've got. Ty Gibbs is going to be there for a long time, so you don't even have to worry about him. So I think the 3 main people you need to look at over there at Toyota are probably those 3, and then whatever 2311 does, I think you have to include Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace over there, but I don't think 2311 is ever going to be the premier Toyota team. I think it'll always be Joe Gibbs Racing. And that's nothing against Tyler Reddick or Bubba Wallace, but I would say the big 3 for Toyota going forward are going to be Christopher Bell, Eric Jones, and, of course, Ty Gibbs. He is itchy, says Shaw. Action's hypocritical, says Napa Racing fan. Hamroid is inflamed, says Shaw. Thanks to Hamlin, Blaney lost out on the chance to win. Yeah, he cost him a lot of track position there that Blaney probably would have needed to pull off the win. Also, thanks to Hamlin, Blaney is above the cut line, says Napa Racing fan. So Hamlin giveth, and Hamlin taketh away, and Hamlin also giveth. Action Simroidal, says Shaw. Okay, I will stop with the pun. Maybe. Let's see here. BB, should Gunther Steiner join the booth next week? All race. Oh, that's a good question. Hopefully he's a little more he gives them a little more content than he did last time he was up there. He was kind of quiet the last time he was up there. Whenever I used to fish, we'd get drunk and forget we were fishing. LOL, says Bumblebee. That's pretty much the goal. Same thing with golf for me, because I really honestly could care less. I don't unless it's catfish. I really don't care anything about it unless you're sea fishing, because most of the fish that I like come from the sea. Karma got hemorrhoids, says Shaw. Do I still go deer hunting? I do still go deer hunting though, says B. As long as those deer don't run away too quick and cost you another knee or ankle. I can't remember which one it was. Let's see here. BB Dolphins versus Eagles. I got the Dolphins in that one. I think the Dolphins are going to get them. So that's just flying from the seat of my pants. No clue at all, because I haven't watched either one of them play this season. So I think the Dolphins are going to get them though. Make Homestead the finale again, says B. So there you go. A lot of people on that bandwagon. They want the finale to be back at Homestead. Eagles 37, Dolphins 34, says Napa Racing fan. I do think it will be probably a high scoring game. So that's probably whichever way the score goes, that's probably a pretty fair score there. Truex is getting. I had I had Patrick Mahomes on my fantasy team, and Patrick Mahomes apparently went off today. He basically won me the game today by himself. Truex is getting the Kyle Busch treatment with all the hand-me-down motors that blow up, says Joe Sample. Yeah, that's a good point. This is about the same time last year that Kyle Busch was having some engine problems. So is Truex sort of in that same situation? I doubt it, but we'll have to see going forward. It certainly didn't help him today, though. EB, when fishing, they are not biting. Have a beer, and they will start biting, says Mark Barnum. Or just, not necessarily above boards in all states, but just take you some cat food out there, pop some holes in the can, throw it in there, and if all else fails, also probably not above boards in all states. Just light you up one of those Roman candles and throw them in there and see what happens. That's a pretty easy way to go fishing too. This is a satire, by the way, so just so you know, that's just a joke. Then he chokes away another one, says Robert Stone. Also tomorrow night, 49ers 34, Vikings 20. That I think it's going to be a pretty interesting game. 49ers have some really good players that are questionable. Deebo Samuel is going to be out, and Christian McCaffrey is a game-time decision. As far as I know. So if they're missing both of those, it's going to be the Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle show, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Yes, I agree with Bumblebee. Homestead, the finale, not boring Phoenix. I hate that Phoenix is the worst track for a championship. It's not necessarily the worst track for a championship. A lot of people don't like the racing, but as far as it goes from a fan experience, Phoenix is up there with the best of them. You betcha, EB 48, Miami Homestead. I'm thankful for Hamroid. Gives me someone to troll on. Says I'm a bass fisherman. Says Roofer. So Roofer, you're into the bass. That's cool. It was an ACL, MCL. Says Bumblebee. I mean, you only have one more L to get. Like one more L, and you could have got the got the trifecta there, B. I'm just messing with you there. That sucks though. I did hate it that happened to you. But you did get something that trip, so I think you at least got some deer meat from the trip, if I'm not mistaken. Homestead is a good race. I don't know why they think Phoenix can compete. I think it's just more of a money situation. Phoenix built that fancy new track, so they're going to give Phoenix the finale race for a little while, and I think the next place to build a fancy new track will probably get the finale for a while too. I think NASCAR is taking the old NFL route. Back in the day in the NFL, if you built a new stadium, you got a Super Bowl, and I think that's what NASCAR is doing. Just to be totally honest with you, I want to see Bristol night race become the finale race. Personally, at this point, though, it's anything but Phoenix. ABP, anything but Phoenix. Phoenix is so meh. A few good races, not many. Dogleg kind of ruined it. So yeah, if they could. I will say this: if they could put Phoenix's configuration sort of back to how it originally was, I think it would be a more fun race from a race standpoint. But the track itself, man, like I mean, if you haven't been, I would highly recommend going to Phoenix. It's one of the best tracks out there from a fan enjoyment perspective. And plus, when the race is over with, it does not take long to get out of that joint. There's not like a whole lot of traffic. Like it's well situated. Which also might play into why they get the finale. BB, I don't like the playoffs, but they should have the Final Four, have 3 races. Yeah, I don't disagree with you there, OJ and Two-Face. If you're going to have a Final Four, at least make it more than one race. Whoever has the most points is the champion. Would make better sense, but NASCAR is trying hard for ratings. I agree with you. 100% there. Mahomes is the GOAT, says Mark Barnum. He is right now. It feels like this was the right behind Brock Purdy, of course. It feels like this was the last good Cup race of the season. Get ready for Arrow lackluster for the remaining 2 races, says Chrome Diesel. Ryan Blaney is getting 100% of Penske's effort, says Duke Chronic. There's no doubt about that. And if you're Penske, that's just the way it's got to be, right? So OJ Moody has touched on that many times. They don't want someone locking up by race 2 or having someone clinching and finishing 32nd in the last race. Martinsville will be better than Phoenix, way better, sadly. Sadly, no, for the great track that it is. I hope first off, I don't think Martinsville or Phoenix are a bad track. I would like to once again reiterate the car and the short track package are absolute ass. So that's the real problem. So let's keep the focus where the focus needs to be. The car and the short track package are doo-doo. Let's see here. I hope the 24 and the 12 make the Final Four. Anyone but hypocritical number 11, says OJ. Denny going back to Martinsville last year. He was out on the last turn. Oh, yeah. The old Hail Melon wall ride from Ross Chastain. I have Kittle on the San Francisco and the San Francisco D on my fantasy. So as long as those two do good, then I'll be happy, says Say Kyle. Ever since Phoenix changed the configuration, it kind of blows. Yeah, so if they could just go back to the original configuration, I think that would help just a little bit. Yes, I'm on the 24 and the 12. Also, one caveat on the finale track is that it also must be an ISM Speedway. So there you go. You have to pick from ISM. They have the finale contract right now. So good point there, Glock. NASCAR is not going to have the championship at a non-NASCAR owned track. That is a fact. Yeah, got the deer. Hurt the leg trying to load it. My knee folded 45 degrees the wrong way. That is rough. I can see it in my head. I'm seeing like Joe Theismann flashbacks if Joe Theismann was lifting a deer. BB, will anyone try a Chastain 2.0 next week in the last turn? Ryan Blaney riding the wall to win. They can try it, but NASCAR has outlawed it. So even if they try it, they would I guess get thrown out. I do want to see somebody put it to the test. I want to see if NASCAR actually throws them out for doing it though. Homestead should be the finale, says MBR. I would like to see IRP clone in the LA area for a season-ending race. So yeah, I don't know why they haven't like tried to sort of clone some of these tracks that are actually doing good. So other than Daytona and Talladega at Atlanta, if you do come to Phoenix, hit me up for a track tour. Been going there for years and have many contacts. That's for sure. Glockspus, I actually watched most of the race with him, or the Xfinity race, most of the Xfinity race championship last year with him. So definitely a good dude to enjoy the race with. And if I come out there this season, which is still it's looking 50-50, leaning toward 50 not going, unfortunately. But if I do go out there, I will get up with you, my friend. Bummer EB says, Mark Barnum, what makes no sense to move the finale to new repaves? History shows that fresh pavement is serious, but dogs compared to how they raced 10 to 15 years ago. Says Charlotte Anders. So the repaves are not necessarily helping them out, I guess, is what you're saying there. Mark, I'm okay now. I had to rehab it though. Make the finale the non super speedway or road course with the oldest pavement. So yeah, okay, so that I did have that right. So yeah, go to a track with some character for the finale. So you got comers and goers. I'm with you on that one, Charlotte. That's actually a really good idea. Iowa for the final race. Might need studded tires though, says Mark Barnum. Yeah, you'd have to worry about snow in that situation. BB, should NASCAR ever make Talladega the championship race? They probably will do something stupid like that at some point, but no, they should not, because it's just an absolute crapshoot. Poll idea, BB, Homestead, Phoenix, or others. So yeah, we'll do that real quick. The 65% said yes, it was a good day for Joe Gibbs Racing. So we'll start this other one. Let's see here. Here you go. Where would you like to see the finale at? PIR, Phoenix International Raceway, as it's the proper name for that speedway. Homestead, Atlanta, or Bowman Gray. I threw Atlanta in there because Atlanta used to be the finale race, and threw Bowman Gray in there because if you want drama, why not? There is no more dramatic a racetrack than Bowman Gray, the madhouse. Let's see. So if NASCAR wants to go full WWE, they need to have the finale at Bowman Gray. Let's see here. Poll, is Larson an idiot? Yes or no? 100% yes for hitting the barrels. Over aggressive maybe, but I don't know about an idiot. He's already locked in, so you can take chances like that when you're locked in. Chrome Diesel, if the ratings continue to tank, I wouldn't be surprised if NASCAR changes the stupid playoff format. I don't know. They're so locked into it. They've literally got the Powerball lottery sponsoring the playoffs. So they've got a sponsor for the playoffs. The more they get financially invested into it, the harder and harder it's going to be for them to change to something else. So I don't know. BB, did you see Zane Smith was DQ'd yesterday and not in the Final Four, says OJ and Toothpaste? And as well, they should have been, because that was probably the most blatant, obvious window flexing cheating I've ever seen in my entire life. So the team there earned that one fair and square for the Zane. Bummer for Zane Smith, but it was very obvious what they were doing over there. Phoenix is only popular because Harvick ran well there back in the day. Now it relies upon late caution to get 3 wide, says MBR. Yeah, and reconfiguration of the track didn't help either. 900 horsepower with a skinny tire will fix the short track package. More horsepower for sure and a skinny tire for sure, Robert Stone. There's no doubt about that. But NASCAR, for whatever reason, refuses to think about doing that or whatever. Dislike says Charlotte. Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson are the 2 best drivers. The final race just got better, says Duke Chronic. I would throw William Byron in there too. I still think Big Hat Championship winner, says Shaw. I mean, yeah, so those would have to be my 3 favorite picks. And then whoever else gets in there, like if Hamlin gets in there, I could see him doing well. Martin Truex at some point is going to have to run good again. So, like, if Martin Truex Jr. gets in there, like, I could see him running well. So, I mean, anybody you throw in there, like, it's the Final Four. It's one race. Literally anything can happen. So, I mean, like, we've seen Tyler Reddick absolutely blister the field at points. So, if he gets in there, I mean, you have to you just have to factor in sort of everybody in that playoff race. But, yeah, I would say the big 3 are there. And then you got to factor in the fact that Ryan Blaney probably had the fastest car last year and let – in a lot of people's opinions, he let Joey Logano pass him and get the win because that's what good teammates do. They know the championship is more important than winning a race. But at the same time, according to a lot of people, they could see the anger in I was there live, so I didn't get to see the interview. But according to a lot of people, you could see how angry Blaney was that he had to give up that win to let Joey Logano win the championship or however it played out. How did they cheat, BB? Zane Smith didn't catch that. What did the team do? Was it Carl Longstyle? Says OJ and Two-Face. No, they. If you remember the window flexing that Kevin Harvick had on the back of his car, well, they were doing it on the front of the car or the truck in this situation for the 38. And so you could see the window depress as he was going into full load. So they were doing something with the arrow with the window concaving in an odd way that was very obvious. They did it on purpose. Powerball and NASCAR can invest in their nonsense as much as they want, but viewership drop shows there is apathy for the playoffs, says Chrome Diesel. And I think a lot of that apathy is, hey, once your driver gets what I think NASCAR never factored in is once it's the same thing. Once your driver wins the race and is in, there's really no need to watch until the playoffs start. And once your driver is eliminated from the playoffs, there's really no need to watch if you're a casual fan, and you can get back to football because a lot of casual fans are football fans too. So once your driver is eliminated, you're like, I'm going to watch football, and I might flip back over to the race to see who wins. And if I miss it, I'll just catch Baloney Burger's recap on Monday. So I mean, that's just really the way it goes. I think a non-chase race wins last race. Says Shop. Blaney called Hamlin a hack in the post-race interview. Says Napa Race fan. That's pretty funny. So I didn't even get to see the post-race interview, so I'm gonna have to check those out. They went on my feed. They went straight to the local news. Only 2 more races left for Harvick to win. I hope we see him win one more time, says OJ and Toothpaste. Hamlin must win, says Camaro 50 for sure. Napa Racing fan, really, that's awesome. So the final 2 spots are going to a driver with the last name that starts with B. So there you go. Forever, says Stupid Roofer. Hamlin has been at the front most of the playoffs, says Duke Chronic. Yeah, you can't factor Hamlin out. He had a bad race today, but he's really good at Martinsville. So it would not shock me at all to see Denny Hamlin win Martinsville and then troll the fans as he is known to do. Newman was in Carl Long's Xfinity car, says yeah, I forgot about that. So Newman actually went back to the Xfinity series for the first time in several years, over a decade, I want to say, racing for Carl Long. I still can't believe Harvick was not disqualified for winning that Vegas race with his window like that. That was crazy. And thanks for explaining the Zane Smith penalty, says OJ. Yeah, no problem, my friend. That's why we can't stand the playoffs, says Roofer. For sure. It's designed for drama. It's not necessarily designed to honor the person that had the best season, which would be a champion in, I guess, the true sense of the word. Bell was crap all day until the end. Amazing finish for him. So that was probably the best thing about this race. Christopher Bell was almost about to go a lap down at one point in this race, and he just never gave up. He kept persevering. That team kept doing as good a job as they could do. They kept making the car better. It really reminded me of like a Mark Martin type win, because you would see Mark Martin do this a lot. He would start off and be just trash. He would pit like 2 or 3 extra times. Like he would come in during cautions and pit when nobody else would come in, just to work on that car to get it better and better. And that's really what it reminded me of from Christopher Bell today. I just kept working on the car, never gave up. And then because he never gave up, he put himself in the right position at the end of the race. And when the opportunity presented himself, he took that opportunity. So good race. You can't as bad as it was that for Joe Gibbs Racing, the two of their playoff drivers were in trouble. Really awesome for Joe Gibbs Racing that Christopher Bell won. Last lap is all that matters. LOL, says Shaw. IndyCar and F1 I care more about on-track product than the championship. What's funny here is that younger demo NASCAR is looking for or watching open wheel racing. It is pretty funny. Camaro 50 saying, yep, they just showed Swifty doing the chest bump with her friend after the Chiefs scored a TD. LOL. Thank God, because you can't get enough. We can't get enough Taylor Swift content when we're trying to watch the NFL. I know y'all don't like Denny Hamlin. I don't dislike Denny Hamlin, but as a purist, he's earned a shot. Look, Denny Hamlin's got some of the best numbers in this playoffs. Because of this playoff system, he has hurt himself. But I think if you look at the Latford system, the old NASCAR point system, I think Denny Hamlin would still be in the lead. So to say that he wouldn't be a favorite if he got into the Final Four is you're just fooling yourself, because he's had the best season statistically, I think, of anybody else, if I'm not mistaken. He might have, with this close to a last place finish here this week, he might have hurt himself there, but I think he's still leading the overall points. Let's see here. BB, what would be your dream NASCAR booth? And if you had to pick only one, NBC or Fox? Let's see, dream NASCAR booth, and I'm not going to pick either one. I'm going to pick TNT, because that was the best booth. And the dream NASCAR booth has already existed. The only person you might throw in there would be Eli Gold. But Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett, and I don't know if I would put Eli Gold in there. Maybe Eli Gold. I don't know. But you definitely got to have Benny Parsons. Bob Jenkins or Eli Gold? That's like the real question there. I like Bob Jenkins and I like Eli Gold. So you know what? I'm going to make it a 4-man booth. We're just going to put them all in there. Bob Jenkins, Eli Gold, Ned Jarrett, and Benny Parsons. That's my 4. And Jamie Little is the pit road reporter. Let's see. Be funny in the Final Four. All right together in the championship. Finished 32nd. Says like this. F1 was at COTA today. I didn't bother watching. Guess who won? I didn't even know they were racing at COTA today. So let's see here. It's a crime for NBC to show commercials rather than a winter burnout. Yep, it's nothing but commercials. They lived up to the moniker today. F1 is like watching paint dry, says Mark Barnum. Camaro 50 says agreed. BB, did you like the Kyle Petty, Wally Dallenbach in the booth with Adam Alexander? I did like Wally's World back in the day. Kyle Petty always brings his own deal back in the day. Buddy Baker. Yeah, Buddy Baker was good back in the day too. Ken Squire, Hall of Famer. So I mean, you can't discount Ken Squire. Bob Jenkins for me. So say Kyle's going with Bob Jenkins over Eli Gold there. Fair enough. I would just put a 4th person in there, so you got both of them. I'm still pushing for the modern YouTubers to call a race. Says Stupid Roofer. So hey, maybe one day. I know Iceberg's working on it, so you might see him do it one day. Did Max win again at F1? I'm pretty sure he did. So another Max win. I did know they were racing at COTA, because they brought his car in via helicopter or something like that. Crazy. Sometimes I got to mute Jeff Burton just to get a break from him. Says Duke Chronic. BB, you going to grill burgers tonight? Says OJ and Toothpaste. I'm good. I had some beef stew and some Snoop Loops. So I'm good. I'm good on dinner here. 50 wins for Verstappen at only 25 or 26. Yeah, he's as long as he keeps up what he's doing, he's going to challenge Lewis Hamilton's record. Let's see. Jeff Burton needs a muzzle sometimes, says OJ and Toothpaste. So he's not a Jeff Burton commentary fan. Brad going to get a win before too long. Yeah, Brad Keselowski is another one. I talk all the time, I guess, about Ty Gibbs being close to getting that win. But Brad Keselowski, he's just as close, if not closer, to getting a win here before too long. And what a turnaround for RFK. So regardless of how this season ends for RFK, with their last team, 17, looking like it's a long odd for him to get to the championship. It's been a great season for RFK either way. South Dakota kid Shane Van Boeing won the World 8-Ball Championship today, says Mark Barnum. Brad Doherty, cool as an analyst. Yeah, Brad Doherty is good. Whether you're watching college basketball, the NBA, or NASCAR, Brad Doherty really, really good with the commentary. With the current car package, qualifying is almost more important than the race at Martinsville. 100% Napa Racing fan. 100% accurate. Cannot disagree with you one bit there. OJ and Toothpaste saying Brad, meaning Brad Doherty. I got you. Looks like we are to the end of it, so I'll stay on here for a couple more minutes and see what you guys want to talk about. But if you don't have any more questions or anything like that, I'll probably hop off here. Chrome Diesel saying, I think NASCAR should increase points for a win, like 10 points over a second, similar to what IndyCar has. Maybe in the top 10. Like, I think 1 point after the top 10, I think 1 point per position makes sense. But I think once you get into the top 10, I would like to see a little bit more of a scaled system. Camaro 50 with the super chat there. I appreciate you, my friend. Good night, BB. Looking forward to watching you on Tuesday. For sure. Might have a little bit of information about that. So make sure you watch the Monday episode, because we got a little something going on Tuesday that's going to be a little bit different. If Fox or NBC are smart, they would have some alternative NASCAR media. Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. Appreciate the time as always, says Kyle. BB ranked the Cars movies. I think the first and third were cool. The second one was just awful. I liked them all. So, yeah, I really haven't had a problem with any of them. So they're good. They're good kids' movies, and they get people involved in racing. So I think they're good either way. JJ took a big hit today, says Aaron Flynn. Yeah, he definitely smoked the wall. There's no question. It looks like John Hunter pushed up and got into Brad. Brad got into Ross Chastain, and Ross Chastain, eventually sent the 15. So chain reaction there. Kevin should be good in the booth next year. I think he will be. BB eating Snoop cereal on the Tuesday live stream. I don't have any left. I think the box is about done. OJ. John Hunter Nemechek was a poor choice. I knew that was going to come. But yeah, Hocevar are rare talent. They probably should have thought about hanging on to him, but it is what it is. The John Hunter Nemechek thing was a long time coming. I don't think, regardless of what happened with Noah, that Noah ever stood a chance of being in that car for more than 1 year. BB, what was better, Cars 1 or Talladega Nights? Cars 1 for sure, 100%. The opening song on Cars, Real Gone, is a straight up jam. Says Charlotte, yeah, the Cars soundtrack is up there. IndyCar has 10, like 2 points for each position, then 3 between fourth and third. Yeah, something like that would make sense. And then 5 between second and third. Yeah, something like that 100% makes sense. So that I think that would be better. Thank you, everyone, and God bless, says Roofer. Thumbs up, says Aaron Flynn. Traditions, says Roofer. Yeah, I'm going to get to the traditions for sure. I should have left Hocevar run the rest of the races throughout the year. He's coming back. Hocevar is running the last 2 races. So they just wanted to get a sort of a test and tune with JHN. So let's see here. Cars 1, such a good movie, says OJ. Natalie Dicker did a great job not qualifying in Xfinity. Yeah, got interviewed for not qualifying, so that was something there. You're right, that soundtrack is full of bangers, says Charlotte. For sure, it is. I was 12 years old when I watched it in theaters. It was so damn excited to watch Cars 1. LOL, says OJ. Cars 1 is the reason I began to watch NASCAR. That's what I'm saying. Like, NASCAR needs movies. NASCAR needs like a documentary style, which they got one coming to Netflix. Like, NASCAR needs to reach out and have other media pumping up NASCAR, and they definitely need a damn video game. They finally at least got that figured out. But all right, that's it for this one. I'm gonna check you guys on Tuesday at some point, but check the Monday episodes. We'll have to see what happens. All right, catch you guys later. Peace.